Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is another Asian movie collection addendum video. Now today we have a pretty sweet box set that we're going to be focusing on, and this was released, I believe, from Umbrella, and this is it's pretty heavy, the Thai Horror Collection Blu-ray box set. Yes. Now they appear to be all Region B Blu-rays within this, and there's a decent number of special features, and this has got some Thai horror classics within it as well. Here's just a look at the back. Yeah, back in the day, Thai horror really was kind of on a hot streak during the mid-2000s and even a little bit into the 2010s. Lately, I think they've been more hit or miss, I guess you could say. But we're going to go through this collection, do very, very quick reviews on all the films, and yes. Now, I do have reviews of almost all of these on my Asian horror playlist. I'll include a link to that playlist in the description box below. I'll also include a link to my collection playlist. There's one film in here I did not review in that playlist or on my channel, I believe. And that's because I classify it as a thriller, not a horror movie. But we'll get to that. So, let's do the booklet first. Now we got this pretty hardcover booklet here related to this collection. I like the artwork on this. Essays in Art is what the book is officially called. Now this booklet is approximately, it says it right on the box, 100 plus pages long. So we get a 100-page booklet, and each section of the booklet, usually there's a table of contents. There doesn't seem to be a table of contents here, unfortunately. But I guess I'll find them. So you get Horror Beyond the Screen, Victim the Screen, at Kamchanad, and Coming Soon. So this is a write-up on a bunch of the movies here. I like the color on the inside of this. So you get like kind of like the dark reddish brown with white font, and you also get some pictures. And man, this is a lot of write-up. This is a lot of write-up, and of course you get some pictures in there as well. So yeah, it looks like there's write-ups on a bunch of the movies in here. You get Middle Class Horror and Urban Modernity, The Promise. So it looks like they're going through each film or handful of films and doing almost like a breakdown of some of the themes in each movie, which is pretty cool. Regional and international success in the digital age. Folk horror and a Southeast Asian model. All right, so there's some other stuff in here as well. Obviously, a lot of Asian horror movies were focusing on the digital type aspects. With the Japanese horror focusing on technology, and Thailand did follow suit in some aspects. Yeah, I really wish they put a table of contents in here, unless I missed it. You get The Ghost Between, the generational divide in Thai horror of the 2010s. All right. That might be interesting. The Edge of Genre. Thai horror outliers. Dorm and the Countdown. All right, they call those outliers. Ghosts in the City, the urban turn in Thai horror. Artwork and posters. Yeah, so you get a bunch of posters. Ooh, yeah, so here's an example. So they include a lot of the posters in this book as well, which is pretty neat. It's always interesting to see like the promotional material when the movies first came out. Yeah, so this has got a lot of write-ups too. So this would take a while to chew through. Then you get some like postcard type stuff. You get a bunch of these, like little postcards for each movie, or I guess what the pictures. Prices are right on the back. Art cards they're officially called, and you get a reversible poster in here as well. Yes, All right, so let's go through the movies here, and I think they'll have probably special features for each movie in each disc here. So now, there are certain directors who appear multiple times in these in this box set for the movies, and I'll go through those in a minute. So let's go film by film. I'll do special features after. So the first film, we have 2 different Blu-ray sets broken up here. The first one has Dorm, Alone, Phobia, and Phobia 2, also known as Phobia. Now, the directors of Alone also did Shudder. That's a key thing to point out. And these directors did Shudder, Alone, Phobia, Phobia 2, P-Mock, and they had a hand in The Medium as well, which I was less of a fan of. And they're coming up with another horror film that's in pre-production, coming out soon, so that's nice. But yeah, these directors, they were like a duo of directors. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce their names. I have trouble with Thai names more than any other. But yeah, so they have a huge influence on this box set. Now the first film here, we'll go chronological, Dorm. And if you want more details on this, check out my Asian horror playlist. Dorm came out in 2006. It's a Thai horror drama. A 12-year-old boy transfers to an all-boys boarding school, and he's haunted by his peers and terrified by their tales about the ghosts that inhabit the school. So it's a very, from what I remember, Dorm is like a very classical, classy horror film that's just good quality overall. If you like ghost films and stuff like that, it's a good one. It's definitely a good flick to watch. Now, Alone is like, I think it's almost as good as Shudder, but a little bit different. Alone is basically, let me go through the plot synopsis of Alone here. Came out in 2007. Tells the story of Pim, who moved to a new home to escape the guilt of being the surviving half of a conjoined twin. So it goes from there. Now, Alone has more of like a horror thriller type vibe to it, but it's very entertaining. It's I would almost say almost a little bit underrated because everyone talks about Shudder all the time, but Alone I think is almost in the same stratosphere there. And then you have Phobia and Phobia 2, both of which are anthologies. And I remember thinking Phobia 2 was better than Phobia. I'm not going to go through all the plot synopses for all of the short films within them, but they're highly entertaining, man. Phobia came out in 2008, 4 horror films, approximately 25 minutes each, and then Phobia 2 came out in 2009. All right, 2009. So you have one in 2008, one in 2009. That has 5 horror films of various lengths. And I always enjoyed Phobia 2 more than Phobia 1, but, you know. So I would say of these first 4 films in the set, all 4 of them are solid quality. So I would say all 4 of them are kind of must-watches if you're going into a Thai horror exploration. So I would say like the selection so far is premium, I would say. Now, obviously you might want Shudder in here as well, but I think someone else is releasing Shudder. It might be Error 4444 that's coming out with Shudder at some point on Blu-ray later this year. Someone is. There might be multiple labels. So, special features on this first half set. For Dorm and Alone, you get critical audio commentary by Pierce Conran and James Marsh, early career and inspiration, an interview with both directors, Till Death Do Us Part, The Lonely Ghosts, a video essay by Haley Scanton, Together and Alone, the sometime Thai horror partnership between some of these directors. So these duo of directors, it looks like they're covering them pretty hardcore in this, which is good, because they were highly influential in the Thai horror film industry. In fact, I would wait for the next movie to come out. I'm like, oh, it's the directors from Shudder. It's like, oh, it's the directors from Shudder and Alone. You know, and you just keep buying their stuff, right? And this set is also hugely important because I do have DVDs, I think, of most of these, if not all of them. And the DVD quality is just kind of, so having these on Blu-ray is going to be awesome. I've yet to rewatch these on Blu-ray, but I'm looking forward to it. This might be like an October marathon for me this year, for sure. Yeah, so that's disc 1. A good amount of special features, and having 4 basically essential viewing films from Thai horror from the 2000s, it's a win. Now what about the second set here? We get Coming Soon, Ladda Land, Countdown, and The Promise. All right, so Coming Soon, let me at least get you the years here and a brief synopsis. So Coming Soon came out in 2008, and you get a debt-ridden theater projectionist has promised to bootleg a much-hyped upcoming Thai horror film, there's a little meta-commentary here, that concerns a vengeful spirit of a crazed village woman. Coming Soon, in my opinion, is a little bit underrated. It's a little underrated compared to some of the other films in the first set. And, man, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I really feel like rewatching it. And you get like that, a lot of the film takes place in a movie theater. So, yeah, so it looks like you get a few movies on each disc, which is fine for Blu-rays. And obviously the other disc was behind the artwork there. So Coming Soon, I would say, is not considered a classic like most of the films in the first set, but it's underrated. I really enjoy it. The next one is called Ladda Land. And this one, I remember I was not a huge fan of it. It's the only one in this set where I'm like, that came out in 2011. When a family moves to Ladda Land, an upscale housing development with large, beautiful homes, they discover life in their new neighborhood isn't so perfect when they encounter a series of terrifying events. And I'm looking at some notes here as to why I disliked it. Cliche premise. I don't think the execution was good enough to compensate. The script tries to be dramatic, but had little impact on me. And not a huge fan of the characters in this. There is some social commentary, but it's pretty shallow. And the scare tactics have too many cheap jump scares. So, not the biggest fan of Ladda Land. I would, I only saw it maybe once. And, but hey, I'll give it another chance. But that's a strike against this set. A lot of people like Ladda Land, though. So, gotta be honest. I would have preferred a different film, though, if I'm being honest here. The next film, Countdown, this is the one that I classify as a thriller. And the Countdown came out in 2012, and it's more of a thriller comedy. You have 3 Thai teens in New York City invite a drug dealer into their apartment. So the premise of this is way different than anything else in this set. There's nothing else that's even remotely close in terms of premise in this set, which is why it's more of a thriller comedy. But it's good to mix it up, put some variety in here. Quirky film with a good amount of black humor, all right? Takes place in one location, but it's quite engaging and develops in interesting ways. A few apparent plot holes and dumb decisions, but the ending kind of rectifies them to a degree. And the lead actress is rather fetching. So I enjoyed Countdown. I did. Countdown's a good flick. I wouldn't necessarily classify it as a horror film, though. Then we got, finally, The Promise is the last one, and that is a horror film, for sure. 2017, and the film opens in Bangkok in 1997 during an era where the economy of Thailand was falling on some very bad times. And you get 2 teenage girls, one of whom they're going to be separated because one of them is about to be taken away from debt collectors. Another director. Okay, so I just remembered this. The director from Coming Soon also directed Ladda Land, and he also directed this. So, of the 3, I think Coming Soon's my favorite, but this is a close second. The Promise is a good movie. I enjoyed it. And again, if you want more details on these, you could check out my Asian horror playlist where I do all the reviews. So I would say this second box set, in terms of film quality, is less impressive than the first set. I would say Coming Soon is solid. The Promise is solid. And then if you want a thriller comedy, Countdown's good. And, I'm not a fan of Ladda Land. Now, in terms of special features, Oh, I don't think I put in... I'm sorry. I missed the special features, I think, from Phobia and Phobia 2 on the first set. So I discussed the ones from Dorman alone. Phobia and Phobia 2 have critical audio commentaries by multiple people, and then a bunch of special features with the directors as well. Video essays, yeah. So I kind of missed that, but we get those. Now for this one, you get, for Coming Soon in Ladda Land, audio commentary. Again, looks like Pierce Conran and James Marsh did commentaries for every film in this box set. So that's actually kind of nice how you have, well, at least most of the films they did. Most of the films they did. But, yeah, so that's good. You got some consistency in terms of the commentaries. Interviews with the directors. Video essays. Thai ghost stories. Tons of video essays in this, and stills galleries as well. Countdown and the Promise basically has a duplicate. A lot of special features are duplicated on each film, basically. I don't see an audio commentary, though, for Ladda Land. Yeah, so not every film has an audio commentary. But you get audio commentaries for most of the films. You get a ton of visual essays and special features and stuff. So yeah, so this set, weaker in films, but consistent with special features. So I would say this set is like legit. It really is. And they're all Region B. So I'm really stoked to rewatch basically all of these, even the ones I think are just good or just like Ladda Land. Who knows? Sometimes movies grow on me over time. But yeah, I think this is worth the purchase. And, we don't really get tricked out releases for Thai movies like this very often. It would be nice if they did one for like Thai action, because I always used to watch a bunch of Thai action films during the 2000s as well. Just do like a Thai action box set or something too. Would be neat. But yeah, if you're a fan of Asian horror and you have not explored Thai horror yet, I might recommend watching a few of these streaming first. And then if you really like a few of them, get the box set. Because if these look as good as I'm thinking they're going to look on Blu-ray, it'll be worth it. But yeah, what's your opinion on this set? Were there any films you would have put in? I mean, obviously I think Shudder is a little bit of an exclusion. And a few others that I really enjoyed that are like underseen. But for the most part, I think this is a pretty solid release. So let me know your opinions on this, though. What do you think of Ladda Land? Do you dislike it like I do or what? And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.